Hello, friends! How is it going, everybody? Happy Home Day. Hello, friends who are tuning in from LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Hello, 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 and welcome back to another of my weekly LinkedIn Live. 30 minutes. I have a gigantic, humongous coffee with me today. And for those of you, this is going to be an awesome, epic episode because I haven't had guests for a while. So if you guys are already here, I hope you're staying in. And for those of you who have been following me for a while, please let me know exactly where you're tuning in from. You know me, I love a good cup of coffee. Have you got yours? Have you got your humongous tea or whatever that you like? Let me know. And for those of you who do not know me, I'm Selena, the ex-LinkedIn girl turned CEO of the In Academy in the middle of COVID. I am showing up for you and my amazing community every Wednesday to share one topic, hacks, tips to help you to get real result on LinkedIn, utilize the power of this platform, and stop feeling stuck, overwhelmed, lack of time, and figure LinkedIn all by yourself. Let's see whether I'm showing up here. Yeah, okay, great. Awesome. Hello. I see all the friends here, excited. All right, let's go around. Oh, Raymond. Hello, Raymond. Why are you stressed? Let us know. Raymond, haven't seen you for a while in my show. Great to see you. Arturo, hello. Ready for my Jamai chai tea. Ooh, that sounds delicious. You're every week you're bringing like a new set of tea. So it's like that's definitely something really delicious going on right there. And Yusame, what's up? What's good for everyone? And yeah, just wondering whether all of you can see me. Because when I'm tuning in my screen on LinkedIn, it's still with my banner. If that's the case, let me know. Okay, Usama, good to see you. Selena in the house and Usama in the house as well. I'm so glad you can tune in because it's a very exciting interview I'm going on with my special guest here right at the backstage. So bear with me. And Greg, so good to see you. Hello from Queens. And Thomas, hello from Toronto. Wow, exciting to see you. And Dr. Petra, good to see you too. Hi, Selena. That's coffee. Looks great. Have a great one yourself. We'll be right back. Sounds good. I know you're a cappuccino girl, so join me whenever you can. Someone's like, Thomas is in the house. How have you been? I love that. Like, I love this community, saying hi to everyone. And basically, like just old friends catching up on a Wednesday morning. I love that. And John, so good to see you. I know it's super early morning for you, like 6:09, right? In Pacific time. So happy to see you. Check out John's latest LinkedIn article. He always put up the best article out there. He's like fantastic writing skills as well. If anybody love writing, love reading long form content, John is the person to go for. So do check out his profile. And Usama said, let's rock and roll. Oh, absolutely. And Chris, good to see you. In my weekly LinkedIn live show, I like your podcast mic as well as your sort of like video tape recorder. I guess you are like the video and audio expert right here, and saying hi to each other. I love it. I love it. I love it. Keep doing that. And you someone's like, we can see you. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, keep saying hi to everyone. Ooh, I can't even catch up. But I just want to let you all know, I mean, since I'm talking about Chris with that beautiful podcast mic, have you guys got the memo? Your LinkedIn Gal podcast is already out in the world, and it has been like my 10th episode this week. So each individual episode is just like a bite size, 10 minutes or less, to give you actionable inside tips to get started right away, to help you to unlock your full potential on LinkedIn. And my latest episode, which released today, is going to be talking about my favorite way to turn your LinkedIn network into net worth. So you do not want to miss this. Tune in via your favorite podcast app, whether it's Apple, Spotify, or anything, to get all the juicy bits. All right, sounds good? Okay, let's get started. Let me tell you something. Yesterday, I finished a client call and started, my cup of Starbucks refill. In fact, today I do the same as well. To Starbucks right before our chat, I just basically put it in a mug instead, just to basically save. Be a little bit environmentally conscious, but that's not the point. I went to Starbucks and the barista asked me, how are you? But before I even get a chance to answer him, he asked, what can I get you? So on my way back to my home office, the concierge do exactly the same thing to me, like say, how are you, without really listening to my answer, and just basically go ahead, like just basically doing her thing. This got me wonder, right? Like, how are you? Is it perhaps one of the most useless greetings in the world of communication? The person asking typically do not want to know the answer, and the person responding usually don't know how to answer, or just like, oh, I'm just going to say good, although my day is not good, right? So which follow to us is a lost opportunity and meaningless exchange with zero connection. Are you guys feeling the same as well? Did anybody experience something like that, someone is asking you, how are you? But it doesn't really mean how are you actually. It's just like a hi, and that hi doesn't really mean anything. So speaking with meaningful conversation for deeper connection, I have today, in fact, invite an incredible LinkedIn friends that we met for a while. We believe we're friends for a year now. Maybe later I need to ask him. Keep checking in on each other during different chats. We'll have like countless meaningful, mindful conversation we talk about today. I'm super excited that he is on my today's weekly lively show. He's a very busy person, so I'm very grateful that he can be here with us today. And I haven't had guests for 3 months since my LPBA program launched. So this is the time that I would start having guests on my show. So I hope you all enjoy it as well. I know a couple of you already like sort of DMing me like, when is your next guest coming? Can I come to your show, right? So for whoever that is interested with this, do let me know. So he's an entrepreneur. He's the founder of Turan, and which actually means heritage in Arabic. And that means like natural heritage of a human being. This project This project specifically that he's doing is about self development and positive relations communication. So he's also a host of his very own unique, amazing show called LinkedIn Local Montreal. And he's based in Montreal, where you can get to know people behind the LinkedIn profile. It's a meetup concept that allows you to connect with your LinkedIn network offline and create meaningful interactions. So, in today's episode, we're all talking about having mindful conversation for deeper connection. And we'll discuss like what's more effective communication to foster relationship and a meaningful conversation, whether it's with a stranger, with a family member, with an old or new friends or a new connection on LinkedIn. So let's get to it. There's no better person to talk about mindful conversation for a deeper connection than you, my friend. So, who is this amazing entrepreneur and host? Please, please, please welcome. Huzzah! Huzzah!
Hey,
Hello,
how's
hello.
everyone? How are you?
Good, good, good. Welcome to my show. I'm so happy and excited to have you here. Friends, if you're here, please give me some love to Hassan. I know a couple of you already like, woohoo, Hassan love the brother. You sound like, woohoo, excited. How are you today?
Very good, thank you very much, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. It's fantastic, and your introduction was very awesome and very meaningful and
Oh,
and
thank you.
mindful, basically.
Thank you very much. I love your setting at your living room, by the way. Like I need to have like a headset that it looks like really cool that going on the show as well. So since we're talking about mindful conversation for a deeper connection, I want to ask you, what's one fun fact about you, Hassan, that is not on your LinkedIn profile?
Yeah, something is not on my LinkedIn profile. I would say, for example, I make my own perfumes, and I also and no recipes is the same as another one. And basically, what I do is I also give them names, and I custom make some like for friends, like for special occasions, like for example, when close friends get married or something, then I'll make something for their personality, because again, it's meaningful connections, deep connections.
Yes.
So basically, I know how they are, so I will know exactly what ingredient and what balance to put for to make a unique perfume specially for them, and a name specially
Wow.
for them.
Wow, amazing. I mean, if we do not chat, I mean, obviously we have been chatting through WhatsApp, LinkedIn, multiple different platforms, and now you're on my live show. I would never know you actually create perfume for people and especially tie into that sense. So what gets you into this specific like interest? Did you develop it at such a young age, and how do you even get into the perfume industry? Because I know it's difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult, but the thing is, I have always been geared towards like natural things, and herbs and stuff, like even since and again, like you said, it's all about listening.
Yes.
I was blessed that to have lived with to have seen my four grandparents when I grew up, and I would listen to my grandmothers talking about different herbs and so on. So this brought this interest to learn more about, like, all oils and things, and also me being ethnically originally Arab. uh, the Arabic, the perfume is very important for us. Like, it goes back many centuries ago. And also the other part is that when I was a teenage, well, adults, they say, hey, never mix two perfumes, it will make a bad thing. But the thing is, so you have a choice: either listen to people blindly
Yes.
or experience it yourself and see what it does. Now, obviously, I don't know what will happen if I mix two brand perfumes.
Yes.
I don't want to say any brands, because this is not the point. But the thing is, what I do is that, well, I thought about it. Well, wait, because a perfume is already a mix of ingredients, so that doesn't make sense. And therefore, so what I started to do is I started mixing oils, like essential oils and fragrances.
Ah.
And then sometimes when I used to take public transit, like to go to high school, for example, and then people stop me and they say, "Hey, what are you wearing?" And then
Oh, wow. So you actually already start mixing your perfume at such a young age, and by obviously, like you said, blindly listening together with borrowing some of the like real-time knowledge, experience from your
exactly, yeah.
grandparents, right? Wow, that's incredible. I mean, I love me if I can make my own perfume. In fact, me and my husband the other day was talk about two things. Like we like great smells of things. As you know, right?
Hmm.
Because I just like basically moved in. If anybody know, this is like my new home. But I just gave Hazar a quick tour. It's not a tour that anybody would like to see. It's not glamorous because it's like all the boxes and all I have is just this table and my chair. And what I'm saying is because we move into such a new home, we want to make it as a home. Then one of the things that we find it so easy is the scents. So we go down to the supermarket, the nearest place, to basically find a scent that we felt like home. And we're like thinking, oh, we need to learn how to make candles or like soap, like hand soap,
Yeah,
because smells so good and it's so natural and we can like make our own sort of like scent. And I think it's like just incredible like that we can handmade soap, candles, perfume nowadays instead of like buying it for so expensive, right? It's at least
mhm.
like 20 or 30 or plus US dollars per a decent good candle or a decent good perfume. So definitely need to learn from you, Hassan. Maybe next time I'll bring you back to the show. Maybe you can do sort of like
Maybe I can do a presentation. Yeah.
music. Exactly. In front of us. I'm pretty sure tons of people will find it incredibly interesting. Great. Hassan, I have another questions for you. Since I do an introduction about you earlier, and obviously I know a little bit of the answer because we talk about it, but I'm pretty sure tons of people want to know as well. Like, how do you start at LinkedIn Local Montreal, right? Because I know it's a big city in Canada, and how do you go around like thinking one day after the other, like what I'm going to create and be the host of bringing all the people together and meet in person. Like, where did it all started?
Well, basically, because the original founder, and yeah, thank you, Sama, by the way, for you are also a great talent. So basically, because I wasn't the one who actually found it, I joined. The one who actually found it were two people, John Barrett and Godwin Chan. They were in Montreal because they heard about it from Anna McAfee, who is the founder of the first LinkedIn local movement. She started
Um,
in Australia in her city called
yeah,
Coffswaro.
yeah.
And then John Marrett contacted her through LinkedIn, and she told him about Godwin Chan, and who also had reached her about that, and then they started it. Then what happened is that I was at a networking event, not related to LinkedIn. I was at another networking event, and I met Amokran for the first time. Maybe some of you have seen him on LinkedIn. He's very active. He also has the live. And then, so since I have met him, we became friends. I added him on, we became like real life friends. So I also looked him up on LinkedIn and added him. So thanks to the feed, I saw that he's part of LinkedIn Local Montreal. So I went to the next edition that was going to happen, which was number five. And when I went to edition number five, I expressed my interest because I already had experience in being involved in many organizations. Like at university, I was involved in ISAC and so on. And as you know, me, Selena, I'm involved in many charity organizations. So I wanted to help, and because it makes a change and it makes a difference with people. Some of them are job seekers, some of them are entrepreneur, many different people. So it's good to meet people and behind the profile, not just fancy titles and headlines.
Yeah, I love it. Wow. I actually don't know how everything started with that. Because I was at LinkedIn Local with a couple of different places in Chicago, San Francisco, I mean, a couple of years back. And the idea is basically like bringing online relationship offline, right? But I have no idea how you started it with your journey, with actually previously with two more people to organize it. And it's just absolutely beautiful that you can build something up like that. And I know, in fact, you're still creating events here and there, right? In Montreal. Is it the meeting point still Montreal, or here and there will still be other places?
Yeah, well, basically, because the thing, me, I'm back and forth in Montreal and Ottawa. Uh, and the thing is, so yeah, so we had in total 12 in-person event. The last one was like like 1 week or one weekend before the first lockdown, like before the like
Oh my
March
goodness.
16.
Yeah,
And so after that, so we went offline for another 13 editions.
yeah.
Then in the summer, we had like one special edition, like in person, but in the park this time. Instead of doing it at at an inside location, we did it outdoors. But then we went back, yeah, we went back offline, online, and we have one soon, like actually on 16. So in 2 weeks, we have our next edition still online.
Wow, exciting. I'm glad. I mean, COVID obviously take a pause with some of the, I guess, offline meetup, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're so active online, making it happen so everyone in LinkedIn local Montreal can meet with each other. So for whoever that is tuning in today and you're based in Montreal or in Canada, please go back and connect with Hazan. I'm pretty sure Hazan will love to add you in the group, as well as to have more meaningful and mindful conversation together. All right, I know the wait is over, and I have still tons of questions for Hazan, but go to today's topic, because I do want to learn from Hassan when it comes to like mindful conversation. And I want to start by saying, to me, right, mindful conversation, it's everything like very intentional. You
Hmm.
cherish the time that you had with another person, and you're very mindful about it. And to me, mindful conversation really helps us as human, right? Deepening the relationship, because you get to ask all those questions to know more about another person sitting across the table, basically being based in another country. Like, I learned very quickly, how do you start LinkedIn locals, Montreal? How do you have your own perfume business or perfume side project? If I do not know, before I even jump to this call, I Google and search the name and the meaning of your company, right? That's basically mean heritage. It's like so interesting. So if you really take the time to get to know a stranger, a new person, an old friend, a family member, this is to me a mindful conversation. This is to me how you proceed or move forward to a deeper relationship. How is mindful conversation mean to you, Hassan?
Well, basically, it's like how you present it at the beginning is about, like, for example, when people say, "How are you?" But the thing is, they just there is a difference when they say just out of automatism and not think about it, or actually meaning it really and wanting to know actually how you are. Because actually, how are you? So it's a form of greeting, and greetings are something that no matter where and what country, we do it every day, and that's normal. It's something good to do, but there is a difference to just say it and without any thoughts, and saying it and actually wanting to know. So that's basically that's the purpose of this whole mindfulness thing, is to be mindful and to know, to actually reflect on what we are doing and not go on autopilot. It's actually you, Selena, me, Hamza, saying how are you, not just repeating it because it's a social norm.
Hamza, I love that you talk about autopilot. It is true, right? Because when you forgot, like it's just mentally, you just say, "How are you?" without basically even acknowledging it's actually a question. It's actually someone do want to know how your day is doing. And if it's not something that you felt it's a great day, then you can actually talk about it. It's totally fine. Like especially when I moved to Miami, one of the things that I find it really, really weird is like people will really say, "Hi, how are you?" but without really listening to you. That's like actually a major difference when I'm in Europe, which is like an opposite. When I'm in Europe, especially in the French culture, when I say, "How are you?" they will really answer your question, but it will be also way too long, not also mindful about another person time and say, have a crappy day. I don't know, my mom is in the hospital, da 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 da. Which is fine. Like I would love to talk more about it, but initially it's just the first sort of like interaction,
Hmm.
and it's sort of like difficult, right? So that's leading to the next point. I mean, I would love to ditch small talk and break it into like deeper conversation. Hamza, do you have like any sort of like tips for people? Like, how do you basically create a deeper connection without basically asking nonsensical or like boring or conversational killer questions like this?
Hmm. Also, basically, it's not only about the question itself, and you had gave some great examples in the post when you posted it, but it's about having your life around like being mindful. So because basically, because greetings, like let's say, is important, but the thing is, there are even other things that we do even more frequently than greetings, and but unfortunately we also do them without mindfulness. So first thing I would say is breathing. Breathing is the thing that we do the most, but unfortunately we do it with also without mindfulness, and therefore is by doing other things, so many other things unconsciously and without mindfulness, then it will automatically develop this ease of doing non-conscious greetings or non-conscious whatever other things that we do. So that's why me, what I invite people to is to be mindful in everything. Because if you be mindful even for those little things like breathing, then definitely you will be mindful for these other things such as greetings. And also on the other side, like the practical side, then yeah, definitely you have, well, instead of just saying, "Hey, how's the weather?" or "It's cold," or something like that, then you can say something meaningful to get to know, like really the person. Like for example, what brings you here? Let's say like this is a networking event and so on. So like talking about something like that you really want to know about the person.
Yeah, I love that, and I think through some of the example I would give, right, not just on the post. I think three of the things that when I'm trying to help myself to start a conversation, because like to your point, right, Hamza, earlier you said people try to basically go on autopilot because they don't know what to do. They tend to find there's the awkward silence. That's why they need to basically fill the empty space with just words, but sometimes it does not have to be. Most of the time does not have to be. And I felt like there's three rules that try to tell myself it will be really helpful for whoever that I connect with new, which I think you actually mentioned a couple of things already, especially in the greetings. side is build genuine interest, right? You want to really interestly know about someone's. We talk about the meaning of your name earlier, right? That could be something to start with instead of like, just how are you? How is the weather today? Something that it doesn't really matter. Like, how is the weather? You can see it, right? Like,
Yeah,
obviously,
exactly.
it's not the British having a conversation right here. It's no courtesy right there. So I think genuine interest to get to know another person would be really helpful. I also like to ask someone, which I know sometimes it could be awkward because it's a time like a tongue tie when people started like, oh, why are you not asking me the normal question like, how are you? Why are you trying to be something different, right? Like something like, how do you like working in the area of expertise you're in, right? For example, I asked about you, Hamza, like, how do you get into the perfume industry? You tell me all the story about, your grandparents. You talk about your own interests, things like that, right? Or things like, I mean, I love traveling. Everybody loves traveling. Is there a place in the world most represent who you are? Things like that, right? That to have that conversational starter, the conversation is way more meaningful and a way more deeper in terms of another person way more than just purely how are you, what do you do,
Hmm.
and what's the weather like, right? So I think building that genuine interest that you talked about earlier, the networking part, be intentional is great. The next is connection, right? Like if you can connect with someone, what are you looking forward to that week? You're not just asking about at that moment, how are they? How are you, or how are they feeling? It's more about one step forward. What are some of the things that you're looking for, or what you're doing that day or that month, right? Sorry, that week, right? I think that will be something interesting. And throw in something that is personal and show your authenticity is one of the things that I like to do whenever I'm chatting with a new person as well. Like, I don't know, something that I think a lot of I am a coffee girl, but on top of it, if you see my LinkedIn profile, I love to mix espresso with vanilla ice cream when I have a very tough day. So after a long meeting day, that's mine. And I want to know what's your guilty pleasure at work, like in the middle of your workday. And I want to know from our audience as well, like what are some of the things that you are, it's like your guilty pleasure. Is it taking an extra long bath? What that is like that you like, right? So Hamza, what's your guilty pleasure at work? Like you're like, "Oh, I'm so stressed. I need to get out of this funkiness." What are some of the things that you
Yeah.
will do?
So basically, me, I like is I'll do it more in form of like exercise. Um, I don't have enough room to show it here, but because there's like this exercise that I can do, it's really like good for like relieving the tension, and it's also good like for like to synchronize like the hemispheres, like the left and right hemispheres. So and it's a bit difficult to show because I don't have enough room like for the camera right now, but because it's both, it involves the whole body, and because it goes like it's the opposite, like you do the opposite thing from your hand and your feet. So that's why it's a bit difficult to show right now. Maybe I can find a way to record it another day and maybe broadcast it or something. But that exercise, it helps because that exercise actually forces you to be mindful, because it's something that is naturally not easy, like to go uh, at two different in two opposite directions at the same time. And therefore that exercise really makes you focus and like will keep mindful, and that will by default like relieve you from the stress or that you're going through. It will help you cool down.
Sounds good. Hamza, would you call that a type of meditation that you're doing, or it's another sort of ways?
Not specifically meditation. This one is more, actually it's more on the physical
Okay.
level, but I also do advise if anyone have their own spiritual ways, that's also something important for one's life.
Amazing. Sounds good. Okay. You definitely need to record that video. I would love to learn from you how sort of like you get in touch with your inner circle, inner side. And it sounds like something that I would need because I have the longest time trouble to basically meditate. But obviously, like you said, it's not like a type of meditation, but would love to really learn from you about that for sure. I want to say hi to Tiff. Tiff is actually my very old friend that we actually met in Hong Kong, and now she's based in Jerusalem. So Tiff, I'm so happy that you can tune in. And Tiff said a good hummus snack that you will love as your guilty pleasure, and an ice cream from a shop beside our HQ. When I do get home, a long hot bath is the move. Sounds good. These are all the great stuff that I like doing as well. Great. So I hope that Hamza and I talk a lot about like mindful conversation, and we give extra example about some of the questions you can ask to basically start a new conversation. A few more that I actually put in notes that I want to share with you. Perhaps is something that all of us can use whenever you're doing a greetings, right? Stephen, good to see you. Greetings from Chihuahua, Pennsylvania. Amazing to see you here. Yeah, like things, mindful topics that I talked about earlier. One of the places that you felt most best represent you about. Like, where's one place that you would love to go travel again? What task make you feel like your best self, right? What accomplishment you are most proud of today or this year, this month. You can also talk about if it's more like closer relationship with someone. A new person, you can also do that too. Is what's your love language, right? If for those of you who don't know what's the language of love, there's five: word of um, affirmation, act of service, receive gifts, and quality time and physical touch. Right, like those are all the great stuff that you can ask and start a great conversation and get to know the other person. And what are the most grateful thing for you in this season of life, rather than what's the weather today. So these are all the questions that you can get another person more engaged and having that conversation longer and more deeper and more meaningful way. And it's really foster a much more deeper dialogue when another person. So be creative. This is what I would say when it comes to building that emotional conversation with one another. So what about you? Is there other tips that you want to bring alive and share with our audience when it comes to like mindful conversation for deeper connection?
Yeah, so basically it's about like maintaining that relation of like respect and appreciation, and also like recognizing the person. So listening really to what they have to say, and recognizing it. So basically not like just say, oh, that's good, but so basically like show, express the emotions and show them and say, oh, okay, well, that's interesting, can you tell me more about this, and so on. And one tip that we use particularly at the LinkedIn Local Montreal is that when we wear our like name tags, so we ask people, instead of writing a headline like on LinkedIn, or a job title, we ask them to just write a passion instead. So this way you have, each person will have their name, so this way even if they're a stranger you can see their name, but also it will be written their passion, and that's why you can know, oh, okay, well, let's say they
I love
love
it.
about, people. These people, some people are passionate people, some people are, write chocolate, some people write cars, and so
Yeah.
on. Doesn't matter what you write, but basically that's the point, is that it gets you interested in the other people's passion.
Yeah, I love it. Actually, this is a great way for a networking event opener, right? Instead of
Hmm.
just asking them like CEO, founder, marketing manager. I don't care what's your title. I don't care you're CEO of a big corporation or a small startup. I want to know you. I want to get to know you, right? So this is a great way. Ask them what they're passionate about, and the conversation start there. This is an excellent choice, and I think one of the things that you talked earlier, actually a couple of times, is listening actively.
Yeah.
Without listening actively, you cannot be a good conversationalist if you're not a good listener. It's a two-way dialogue. It's a two-way street. It's always you give, you take. You give, you take, right? So speak less, listen more is the way to go. Absolutely. Great, Hamza. I think we have so many amazing audience today. They are all so blessed to have, have it here with you, joining and tuning in and learning from the expert here when it comes to like deepening and creating emotional conversation. Is there anything else you want the audience to know about you or know about this topic? Do let us know.
Well, I would be interested to know, do they have, because I can't see all the comments right now. Did anyone leave any questions or any interesting thing? Maybe we can, because as we said, it's not necessarily about me or about my company, but it's about the audience.
Exactly. Let us know if you have any questions. I see that Gabby is here. Gabby, good to see you. Yeah, that's the community. We just not saying hi to me and you, right?
Hmm.
Hamza, it's like really this beautiful community. Just keep tuning in and out every week, saying hi to each other, and just like old friends catching up. I really like that. Yeah. So do let me and Hamza know. Do you have any questions around this specific topic? We'll love to basically share more. I think we give sort of like a lot of tangible example what you can do further. Just be mindful, intentional when it comes to having conversation with another person, and be mindful about the time, right? That would be a great start of a big, long personal journey with someone. And again, like I said, I'm just incredibly blessed to have met you at such an early stage of my entrepreneur journey, as well as through LinkedIn to know you, Hamza. Like I couldn't be more blessed that I could not just bring you onto the show today, but also be friends with you from Europe to Canada before, and now we're closer, US to Canada, but still like we chatted almost every week. So it's like meaningful conversation that we have. Okay, great. We got a great questions from Gabby. Gabby asked, how can one find their center again? Get grounded once they feel lost. Oh, great question,
Great
Gabby.
question. All right, so one of the thing is, because one of the main like reason that perhaps that we are losing this mindfulness nowadays is that we live like too comfortably and too luxuriously. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about being super rich and having a big mansion and 10 cars and so on. But I mean, even like the average person amongst us, like we rely too much on like like smartphones and so on. So this has created this sense of comfort, which has like made us like lose these natural like instincts. And obviously, I'm not asking anyone to get rid of all this, because obviously those are useful tools. However, it's always good, is no matter, even if you live in downtown, or it's always good, like, well, go take a walk, reflect, like, and as I said, breathe. And now one of the major problem like now with this pandemic is that since we have to wear masks like often, and don't get me wrong, I'm not here about to talk about uh, not wearing or wearing mask about indoors. That's not the issue. But the thing is, the fact that now we wear masks more often, it makes us breathe from our mouth more often instead of our nose. And if you look at any child or especially newborn baby, you'll see like that the natural way to breathe is, well, is from your nose, and not from, is not your like your chest that should rise, but it's from, like, from deep, like even from deep down your belly, that you take it in. So basically, these are ways to find your center again. Reflect on your breathing, get out there, don't rely like on phone like for every little like detail. It's good to keep some lack of comfort, like, maybe if you have to one night sleep on the floor instead of a comfy bed or something. But the point is, like, do something that will shake your sense of comfort, and that usually will help you to reset.
Absolutely love that. And Gabby, thank you so much for the questions. I think it's definitely, I mean, I'm very similar to Hamza when it comes to like basically, I mean, not ditching your phone, right? Just to be a little bit mindful about how much screen time you're spending instead of really connecting with someone. I felt like one of the easiest thing to caught yourself is when you are going out dinner with someone, or going out with a big party, you're always constantly on your phone. You need to be mindful you're actually obsessed and addicted to your phone instead of spending time with another person, which is something you need to be constantly very mindful of. How did the other person feel if you're constantly around the phone? Is the person that around the phone or people that calling you is more important that night than the time that the person that's sitting across you spending and physically being there, right? So I think it's one of the things that Hamza already said very, very greatly. Just be very mindful about that. And Gabby, I have a great questions that I had the same one too. What's your opinion about breathe work? I'm also really bad with breathing exercise as well. I have when I was really young, I have a problems around sort of like my respiratory system, which majority of the time I breathe through my mouth instead of breathing through my lung. So how would you go about like sort of like suggesting people to do better breathing work?
Well, one of the ways to be conscious about it is, for example, if you put let me go, if you put your hand on your chest and make sure that your chest doesn't rise, because you just want, like, you want your belly to get the full, because basically that's the point of respiration, is that you may want to make sure that everything is full. So, and also maybe some people use the tricks, like such as counting. That could be a trick, or maybe think about a song or anything you want, a sentence or anything. So this way it will like make you focus on something instead of just like breathing. Obviously, I know this is not necessarily comes naturally like when you're busy working, but at least if you dedicate perhaps some periods of your day, especially like we said before, like maybe when you take a break when work is going too crazy, then that could allow you to concentrate on that, and think about it, visualize. Some people will do it better if their eyes are closed. Some are do it better if they are open. So basically, you can tweak and tune and see what works best for you. And obviously, there are many tips out there, like for some people that do certain martial arts or yoga and so on. So again, I'm not here to necessarily to talk about a specific way, but like discover what works for you, because everyone is unique, and I'm sure that just the fact of like concentrating in something, it will help you to think about it and be mindful about it and make sure that it comes in through the nose instead of the mouth. Yeah, great.
Excellent, excellent idea. And Gabby, again, thank you so very much for being here, and also the great questions for us, because I have the exact same question for Hamza, and obviously Hamza know a lot about breathing word, and yeah, we'd love to learn more further. And thank you everyone for tuning in again. I'm just so happy that everyone could spend such an early morning with me and Hamza. I just posted it. If any of you have not connected with Hamza, please go ahead and connect with him. I'm 100% sure you guys will have a great time, have tons of great, meaningful conversation, and build deeper relationship. And as for now, I'll say goodbye to everyone. I wish everyone have a fantastic, intentional, mindful week ahead. And I hope to see you all the same time next week. And please go ahead and follow Hamza. And if you want to continue this meaningful conversation, don't stop it here and don't be a stranger. Say hi to Hamza. I'm pretty sure he'll love, love, love to continue being a great friend of yours on LinkedIn. And see you all next week, same time. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. And as Selena said, yeah, welcome. Just send me a DM. Even if you are not connected yet, you can send the note. And I opened the in free email, so you can message me even without connecting, and we'll be happy to take on the discussion further.
Exactly. Thank you, Hamza, and thank you so much for being at my show. I hope you have an intentional, great day ahead, and I look very forward to having you coming to my show. Maybe next time the perfume training or breathing exercise training. I mean, I have like tons of ideas for our next show, having you again, or my podcast show.
All right,
It's
great.
definitely something that I would like to continue sort of having you on my show for sure. Yeah. As for now, I wish everyone a great, great home day ahead, and bye for now.